It can only be attributable to human error.
You're entering paranoid.
He meddled in things that should be
Form
He meddled in
slug.
things. He meddled in
Where will we go next? This phantom from another time.
No one but the mother.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
That is one big pile of shit.
Welcome to Cryptid Campfire, everybody. I'm Eli.
And I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Alex.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the Flatwoods Monsters today. And we're... I guess we should start with what it is. Would you like to start, Alex?
What it do? No.
Okay.
I don't want to start there.
Okay.
I want to start from the beginning of the story.
All right. What's the story, Alex?
I'm not used to this.
This was your idea.
I know.
I didn't expect it to go this far. September 12th, 1952. Flatwoods.
6:15 p.m.
The town of Flatwoods in Braxton County, West Virginia. 7:15 p.m. Three little boys by the names of Ed and Freddie May and Tommy Heyer witness a bright object crossing the sky.
And it lands.
Well, yeah, I was hoping we could do like a
Sound effect.
No, like a Wu-Tang, or like a thing where like I say one thing and then you keep going. And,
Oh, okay.
You know, like
Okay.
Wait, so it lands, right?
Yeah.
Are you flustered?
No, I'm entertained.
I hope the listeners are too.
This is so everywhere. My eyes are watering. That's how much I'm laughing right now.
Okay. If you guys want me... Okay, fine.
You want to restart?
So it landed... No, we're already too far in. The object landed on a farmer's land.
Supposedly.
On a local farmer's land.
Supposedly.
One G. Bailey Fisher.
Yeah,
Supposedly.
G. Bailey Fisher. And they saw it land. The three boys, they saw it land and went to get one of their mums.
And their dog.
Richie.
And a few other people along the way. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Because by this time, when they got Kathleen May, the son of the two boys, or the mom, the mom of the two boys. I always get these things messed up. The mom of the two boys, apparently Neil Nunley and Ronnie Shaver joined along with the National Guardsman Eugene Lemon. Excuse me. And he's pretty crucial to the story. You're going to want to take a listen. So they all went to the Fisher farm to find the supposed crashed UFO. When the dog, I could not find the name of the dog, but I'm just going to call him Rover.
It was Ricky.
Oh, Ricky.
Yeah.
Ricky. He ran forth, started barking, and then a few moments later, he came running back with his tail between his legs.
Universal sign of a worried
Spooked.
dog. Spooked dog.
He was definitely spooked. The group reached the top of the hill, and that's when things get weed.
Weed.
Weird.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. Kathleen May describes a large pulsating ball of fire 50 feet away, and they saw and smelled a mist that made their eyes and noses burn.
Okay. Very pungent smell,
Yeah,
they described it.
Pungent, pugnacious,
Pugnacious
all
D.
the words. Pugnacious G. They also noticed, I could not find out who saw the two lights first, but I got the farmer.
Okay.
Or it was Eugene. Eugene said he did it.
Eugene Lemon.
Yeah, Mr. Lemon said he noticed two small lights to the left of the pulsating ball of fire. What are you doing?
Having fun. I also burped, so I'm sorry if
Oh,
that
man.
came through.
Probably did. I'll hear it later. Eugene directed his flashlight towards the two beams of light and
All right.
noticed the creature.
The Flatwoods Monster.
the green monster. It emitted a shrill noise before gliding towards the group. It changed direction and headed off towards the light.
It had its arms extended as well.
Yeah, according to Kathleen. But as we know,
tiny little claws.
we can't trust no Kathleens out here.
Oof.
Just kidding, I'm joking.
Well, we just
Now-
lost our entire Kathleen audience, so good going.
So was it a screeching sound? You said
I got a shrill.
shrill. Okay. I got hissing sound.
Either one works.
Yeah.
I read hissing as well, I think.
Yeah, well, I went a little deeper.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, no, I'm
That's
joking.
valid.
Okay,
That's valid.
okay.
I
then.
didn't go that much deeper.
Yeah.
But Lemon dropped his flashlight as well.
Lemon
and
It was a
drop.
lemon drop.
Lemon drop. Lemon drop. Sorry.
Oh
All
my
of this is
God.
accidental, and you guys are turning it into jokes. Is
Yes,
everything a
sir.
joke to you guys?
Maybe.
Yeah. If you have any problems with our comedic stylings, please email us at cryptidcampfirepodcast@gmail.com.
Make sure you tweet us there as well.
Yeah, what the heck? We'd love to hear your complaints.
So Lemon dropped his flashlight, and he screamed. And according to him, that's what caused the group to flee. Not the hissing
Not the
or the
hissing,
gliding, but the fact that Lemon screamed.
or the fact that he dropped the flashlight.
Yeah.
Because some reports say he dropped the flashlight and then everybody ran.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tried to save him some dignity.
So now we get into the juicy stuff. What did they see, Eli?
Well, there are different accounts of what they done seen.
Okay.
According to Eugene Lemon, he saw a tall, man-like figure with a round red face, surrounded by a pointed, hood-like shape.
Like the Ace of Spades.
Like Ace of Spades, yeah. But then, Kathleen Kennedy... Wait, no. Kathleen May...
Kathleen Kennedy.
She,
So many names. in all
yeah,
of these
this
stories.
there's lots of names. Kathleen May, she saw, more of having a figure having small claw-like hands, folding like folds, and a head that resembled an ace of. Oh, I guess she saw the one that looked like an ace of spades.
But I just threw that because it helps.
Yeah, but so she saw one with hands, and he saw more of like more of like a red rounded thing.
Right. I also got the eyes were greenish
Mm.
or orange, with a dark black or green body.
Okay. Yeah.
The lower half has been described as a pleated green skirt. I'm not sure what pleated means.
It's so man.
Like
it's gonna
a-
be hard to explain. Let me just
Like
show you a
a
picture.
But you, what
schoolgirl
about our
skirt.
a schoolgirl skirt?
Skirt.
skirt.
Yeah. Do you know how they have the pleats on it? Yeah.
Not plaid though. Those are two different things.
But to where it's like folded on itself constantly.
Oh look, a pleated green skirt.
Hey. If anyone wants to be the Flatwoods Monster for Halloween.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's funny too, because some people describe it as like almost like wearing like a robe, like a
Right.
skirt.
Right.
A lot of people. I want to say one description was it was almost like a metal rocket half.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
Yeah, and then possible that the eyes were actually headlights.
Headlights of what?
Like it was all mechanical.
Oh.
Like it was more of like an upright spaceship that kind of hovered around.
Oh, that's like really reading into it though.
Yeah, that was one description I found.
I don't know if I'm into that.
Yeah.
But
So you got a
So-
cute little thing in a dress.
it sounds like it scared the living daylights out of him. But yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's cute.
I mean, the pictures of it are pretty cute. Have you seen the pictures? The artist descriptions?
I don't think they're cute, but sure.
It's
yeah.
adorable.
We'll go with that.
That thing is cute as hell.
All right. Anyways, so the aftermath of the whole situation there.
Yes.
They told the local sheriff and the local deputy. They both searched the area separately of each other and both found nothing.
Okay.
And then this guy's name, from the year... Wait, was this... No, okay. I'm not sure who this guy is, but A. Lee Stewart Jr. claimed to discover skid marks in the field, along with an odd gummy deposit, or also described as a black liquid, which people say it proves that there was a UFO there.
Oil.
Yeah.
Or
Truck.
that it's a big old robot.
Or it's a truck,
Yeah.
which a lot of people have been saying that it's actually a truck. Because, as we now know, thanks to Joe Nickel from the year 2000, he says that the local Chevy truck was driven in the area by a local who wanted to investigate on his own.
Yeah, see what's going on.
Yeah, but that was before everyone else showed up. That was before A. Lee Stewart Jr. showed up, so, like, nobody saw him there.
Yeah. So it could have been a truck or it could have been an alien.
Oh, we'll get into it.
Oh, yes, sir.
Because not only was it seen in West Virginia there,
Oh?
it was also, there's actually multiple other sightings.
Of the same creature?
Similar.
We're talking about the one that was a few days after, right?
I was talking about the one that was a few days before.
Oh, I got one a day after.
Alright, we'll do that one too.
Yes, sir.
A mother and her 21-year-old daughter, I was a little pressed for time, I could not find their names, claimed to have seen something similar a week prior to this. Apparently, this UFO landed close to the house.
Mhm.
There was a lot of shaking going on, a lot of lights, the pungent smell.
Shake, rattle, and roll.
It affected the daughter so badly that she was confined to a hospital bed for 3 weeks.
Dang.
Physically or psychologically?
I'm assuming psychologically.
A little bit of both, maybe?
Maybe. Maybe she woke up with those blood boils on her back.
Yeah.
From the
Mongolian
Mongolian
Death
Death
War.
War?
Mongolian Death War. Okay. That was the one I got, but then what was yours?
So, there's a small little twist in the legacy of the Flatwoods Monster. It's most likely a copycat story, the reports I was reading, but it was like a day later. There was a young couple walking out in the woods with their baby, and then this different kind of monster showed up. This one was a scaly reptilian humanoid, but with a body fused together with what, from the waist down, looked like a skirt,
Right.
like a metallic skirt. No other details were really given, but everyone in Braxton County just kind of assumed it was the same thing, just like it took its helmet off and it was more of like a reptilian creature floating around.
Right. The next one, this one's also the day after. It was a couple taking a leisurely drive through the mountains of Frametown, West Virginia.
Okay.
At dusk, when they were met with a similar creature, they were driving and their car stopped and they were unable to get it to start. They describe it as a sulfuric odor.
Yeah.
In the air. So they decided to get out of their car and look around to see if they could find those dirty hooligans that were messing with their thing, and then boom, the Flatwoods Monster jumps out, and this is, I guess, from the waist up, it was also reptilian.
Oh.
And this was the creature that they thought was also Flatwoods, but this is known as the Frametown Monster, and it's got his own little legacy there. But yeah, that's what I got. It's pretty interesting.
What I found most interesting in my deep research, and when I say deep, I mean I read Wikipedia at first because I actually didn't have any general knowledge about this before you had told me about it.
Gotcha.
So to have a clue what we were even talking about, I do go to Wikipedia first to just get some background. And kind of a spoiler on the Wikipedia page for the Flatwoods Monster is because it says right off the bat that 50 years after the sighting, investigators concluded that the light was a meteor and the creature was a barn owl perched in a tree with shadows, making it appear to be a large humanoid.
Right. A meteor was seen on September 12th across 3 states.
Yeah.
Maryland, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. Let's see what else. I had the pulsing red light that Kathleen May saw was probably an aircraft navigation or hazard beacon. Like you said, the creature was probably an owl in a tree. The pleated green skirt was probably a bush.
Or it was an owl in a dress.
Or it was an owl in a dress.
Kind of like in, was it Snow White, when the owl gets all dressed up as a person and dances with Snow White?
Does that happen?
Or am I thinking of, is that Cinderella?
Honestly, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
There's one Disney movie where an owl gets dressed up as a person, and at one point his legs fall off and he's just kind of floating around.
Yeah, so that, man, you made me lose track there.
Sorry.
It's all good. Oh yeah. So like you're sitting there wondering, how do you misconstrue an owl for a 10-foot tall monster?
Well, I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, how do you misconstrue an
Yeah.
owl as a 10-foot monster?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, because heightened anxiety. I don't know if you've ever been like extremely freaked out before, but like sometimes things don't seem like they are the way they are.
It seems like every day.
Yeah,
is
every day.
Some nightmarish excursion into the real world.
So you're mentioning heightened anxiety. Tell us why people's anxiety was heightened around this time, Eli.
Well, oh yeah, there's a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, this was what, 1952? There's nothing really exciting going on in the 50s, right? We're coming out of World War II.
I think we're going into Korea.
Yeah?
The Cold War is going on.
War,
What?
yeah.
What is that?
Well, I'll tell you, capitalist pig.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm not sure actually.
Yeah, it was basically like a overhead looming nuclear destruction between America and Russia.
Oh, basically what's going on right now.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
But in the
okay.
50s, so everything was black and white. But yeah, there's a heightened sense of just any day the nukes could start flying. So there's that mixed with other accounts of UFOs kind of being all over the United
that's true,
States.
yeah.
Like, it's like around this time everyone starts being like, hey, did you hear, and so like someone saw a UFO and someone saw this and that. And so like now everybody's kind of like has a UFO craze going on towards like what's going on. It was even because the Flatwoods Monster made local and national news.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the defining cases, I guess you could say, that got the U.S. Air Force to start doing Project Blue Book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that might be something we could talk about in a later episode.
Project Blue Book.
Yeah, but for everyone who doesn't know, a quick recap is basically like the government just started sending people to investigate every UFO sighting that was like
Going on.
reported.
Yeah.
And just it's a huge collection of what they found, what they're looking at, and yeah, we can talk about that in a later episode because that's some fun UFO stuff.
Yeah. And
Flatwoods Monster is not really too much other than a few sightings, and each sighting has its own different take on how it acts.
right, it was basically just that one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that one day. That was all it was kind of seen, but it's like it's got a big following in Japan.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I did not know
Japan
this.
loves Flatwoods Monster, and they love depicting aliens as the Flatwoods Monster.
Really?
And there's a couple examples I could show you guys pictures. It shows up in a few video games.
Yeah.
As, like-
It's, the most recent was Fallout 76.
Yeah, Fallout 76, which takes place in West Virginia. I guess there's some kind of appearance of the Flatwoods Monster in it. So now I kind of want to play the game. But there's this little side scroller called Omegon, where you play as this guy who shoots lasers, and you basically fight
Right.
the Flatwoods Monster.
Interesting.
There's a little shooting game called Space Harrier 2, where it's a giant boss, and he plays a little guy with a gun in like a third perspective shooting the Flatwoods Monster.
Oh.
And it's even in Legend of Zelda,
That I did know.
the Majora's Mask.
I did read about the Legend of Zelda one, but I didn't know the following was in Japan.
Yeah, because they're and the Majora's Mask one is pretty awesome because you basically have to protect a dairy farm from
Interesting.
alien invasion, and the people just call it them. Them are coming tonight.
Them are coming.
Yeah.
Who are
And
them?
The little Flatwoods Monsters, and you got to shoot them with your arrows.
Yeah.
And if they get to the barn, they abduct the alien and the people.
That's,
They abduct the cows and the people who own the farm.
that's so interesting that it has like influenced things around the world. Because I mean, I know that West Virginia itself loves the Flatwoods Monster, or they call it the Green Monster, because there's, I mean, tons of merch and
Yeah.
tourists, and they have, what is it, chairs? They
Yeah,
build
there's a
chairs
chair.
to look like the Flatwood Monster so that you can pose with it and sit in
Field
its
trip.
arm.
What's
we gotta get
pretty crazy too about the Flatwoods Monster is Jasmine, you were saying in West Virginia, it's like a big tourist thing.
Mm-hmm.
Interviews with people who like they have like a Flatwoods Monster like festival like
Yeah.
over 3 days. It's
Yeah.
like, but the people who host it, they're like, yeah, we don't think it's real.
Nobody
but
believes
the
in
money's
it.
coming in.
They totally, yeah. And like, I think they interviewed one of the guys. I forget his name. I'm really bad with that, but he was looking to make like a giant statue. Like they don't believe in it. They have no belief that it's a thing, that it exists, but they said it was good for the community. I think they were like, we don't necessarily believe that it's real, but it's good for the community, and it brings money
brings
in.
that
and
money,
I'm just
yeah.
like, okay. I mean, sure.
Because most places you go to where they have like a festival, I think we talked about. There's the Ogopogo Fest, I believe, and stuff. But I think they all still kind of like tout it as it's a real thing. I know there's Mothman has his own like holiday and like festivals, but like they always treat like, no, it could be real, like it's part of our town history, but like Virginia's like, yeah, no, it's totally fake, but if you people want to give us your money, we'll take it. Come sit in this chair.
Yeah, it works. I was gonna say that little kids, to add to the heightened anxiety, this is going way back, but the little kids, if a little kid came up to me and said he saw a UFO land in a field, I would be freaked out.
Yeah.
Because little kids already freak me out.
They're basically like little aliens to begin with.
They are. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening to us talk about the Flatwoods Monster.
Is that it? Is that where we're cutting it off?
I think so. I think that's kind of all the history we were able to scrounge up on that
Wait,
guy.
let me see if I had anything else.
Jasmine's.
I was just when we were talking about the heightened anxiety stuff and the Cold War and the Soviet Union, Life magazine, I believe it was Life magazine. Life is only a magazine, right? Right?
And a board game.
True.
Where you hate your friends and family for playing it with you.
Because their headline was "Have we visitors from space?" And this goes back to when they were talking about the Air Force being ready to investigate the saucer sightings and things like that. This was all happening just 5 months before Ed and Freddie May climbed the hilltop and saw the Flatwoods Monster. So they already had this idea of aliens and visitors from space, so that was already on their mind, so that's going to be something that they think they see.
Especially with the confirmed meteorite that went through the sky.
Right.
Like, that must be pretty wild. Like, you're just going through the forest with your friends, kind of hanging out, and then you just see something shoot through the sky, and then possibly something crash on the farmer's field, or...
Yeah, there's no real explanation for that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's the explanation for the ball of light, but...
I don't think they have proof that it actually crashed. I think they
maybe imagined
it crashed.
Because it went out of their view, and they oh, it must have crashed.
Because it doesn't say that they found the like hole in the ground or that they found the crash site. They just saw the creature, supposedly.
Yeah, and if you really saw it land, I think I would have just stayed and watched it. Then I gotta go tell my mom. Like,
I'd have booked it home. Like I'm not going back to look. I'm going home to call the Men in Black.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll get into that later.
Yeah,
but,
I think they said there was one report of Men in Black being in the area.
No.
Yeah, I found it somewhere. But
for the Flatwoods Monster?
I
Yeah,
had a feeling these weirdos would show up.
Yeah, somebody they're interviewing somebody and they said,
oh yeah, they showed up as journalists.
Yeah,
supposedly.
but they did like a bad job of it.
Yeah.
They're like, who the heck are these guys?
Yeah.
So Men in Black posing as journalist at the Flatwoods Monster crash site area.
If you want to listen to a really good Men in Black podcast, go listen to the last podcast on the left. They have a really good one.
Yeah, it's a 3-parter.
Is it 3 or 4? I don't know. I think it's 3. But yeah, they definitely...
And that's the golden rule of starting your own podcast, is referring people to listen to other podcasts that do a better job of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's the golden rule. But seriously, it is pretty good.
Yeah.
Good info. So I think that kind of wraps it up for the Flatwood Monster. not a whole lot on him, but kind of like the Mongolian deathworm, to where he's kind of a big chunk of popular culture, but
Yeah.
not out here, but in Japan, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas like Mongolian deathworm is more like all over the place in our entertainment,
Right.
with movies and books. So it's kind of funny what'll kind of pick up when has such little info on it.
Yeah. But thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, this is. Are we still doing?
No, I'm Eli.
You're Eli.
I'm
Where
Eli.
where could I find you if I wanted to ask you
At
something?
EJ Workshop on Twitter.
Oh,
If you want to ask me a question, I may or may not respond.
sounds good. And what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at Jasmine May W, JasmineMaeW. If you tweet me, I might respond. Just don't be weird.
And you can find me at Alex Daikaiju at Twitter. It's Alex DAIKAIJU. You can definitely tweet at me, and I'll probably answer you because I only have 2 followers right now, and I'm following 12 people. So I ain't got that much going on in Twitter yet. So tweet at me.
Thanks for listening to Cryptid Campfire.
Yeah.
Cryptid Campfire.
Cryptid Campfire.